Hello and welcome to today's session on emulsion. Myself, Mr. Pradeep Patil from RC Patel Institute of Pharmacy, Shirpur, would be discussing about emulsion in this session. As we all know that emulsions are biphasic liquid dosage form in which two immiscible liquids are mixed with each other. Basically, these are oil and water. In a general scenario, if you try to mix oil and water with each other just by stirring, you can see that after some time both the phases they get separate out. Okay, the basic reason behind this is that the surface tension on the droplets of oil or either water won't allow the proper mixing of oil and water. So what we require over here is an emulsifying agent, okay, or an emulsifier. Now, I won't be discussing in detail about emulsifier, but I would just give you a brief idea about how an emulsifier actually looks. It is going to have an hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail. And suppose if I am going to prepare an oil and water type of emulsion, what will happen is that the hydrophilic heads, they will orient themselves towards water, whereas hydrophobic tails will orient themselves towards the oil droplets, and thus they would form a layer around the oil. Here you can see that the emulsifying agent, it has formed a layer around the oil, so oil and water can be mixed easily by using an emulsifying agent or an emulsifier. In this way you can get an emulsion. Emulsions are basically of two types. One is oil in water type of emulsion, other one is water in oil type of emulsion. So in oil and water type of emulsion, oil will be the dispersed phase, whereas water will be the continuous phase. Always keep in mind, the dispersed phase is the phase which is going to be lesser in quantity. Whereas now suppose if I am going to discuss about water and oil type of emulsion, water is dispersed phase, that is water is in less quantity, and oil is continuous phase. The emulsifying agents that are used to prepare oil and water type of emulsion are gum acacia, tragacanth, methyl cellulose, saponins, soaps of monovalent bases like sodium, potassium, and all. And emulsifying agents that are used for making water and oil type of emulsion would be wool fat, resins, beeswax, soaps of divalent bases like calcium and magnesium, and so on. Now, usually, oil in water type of emulsions are preferred for internal use, whereas water in oil type of emulsions are preferred for external use, such as lotions and creams. Now, suppose if you have been given a random sample of an emulsion and you have been told to identify which kind of emulsion it is not at all possible for you to just look at that emulsion and tell that this emulsion is going to be oil and water and this emulsion is going to be water and oil. Okay, so you need to identify those, and for that purpose I am going to discuss about identification test for emulsion. So there are various identification tests for emulsions, that is dilution test, dye test, conductivity test, fluorescence test, and cobalt chloride test. These tests are actually going to give you an idea about the type of emulsion that has been provided to you or that you need to identify. So I would be discussing in detail each type of identification test. So here we go. The first test is dilution test. Now what do you understand by the term dilution? Suppose if I have given you a particular preparation and I tell you to dilute it, what would you do? You dilute it with the continuous phase, okay, or simply you would be diluting it with the vehicle. And what you need to understand in this test is that suppose if I am going to add a continuous phase, that is the vehicle, into my emulsion, it won't crack or it won't separate out in two layers. But when dispersed phase is added into emulsion, it will crack and separate. The reason behind this is that continuous phase, it is going to be more. Okay, and if you're going to use an emulsifying agent, suppose if I am discussing about oil in water type of emulsion, I am going to use an emulsifying agent which is actually easily miscible with water. Okay, and say for example I am using gum acacia or tragacanth or monovalent soaps, so these would be getting oriented, okay, towards water. The hydrophilic heads, they would be getting oriented towards water and they would be forming a layer around the oil droplets. So no matter how much quantity of continuous phase I am going to add, these won't break. Okay, these emulsions, these are not going to separate out, they are not going to crack, because the emulsifying agent has totally covered or has totally formed a layer around the oil droplets, and hence both the oil and water, they are in an emulsion form as of now. That is, oil is not getting attached to the other oil droplets. A single oil droplet is not getting attached to the other oil droplets or globules. But suppose if I am going to use a dispersed phase for dilution, what will happen? The quantity of emulsifying agent that I had used will become less, isn't it? The quantity that I had used for making an emulsion was sufficient for a specific quantity. But now if I am going to add a dispersed phase, again what will happen? The amount of dispersed phase will increase and there is no emulsifying agent to cover that or to form a layer around those droplets. So that would lead to cracking of emulsion and phase separation will occur. So in dilution test, simply if you are going to add a continuous phase, it won't crack. But if you add a dispersed phase, it will crack. You need to understand this. Okay, now moving to next type of identification test. The next one is the dye test. Now you are going to have two type of dyes basically. One is oil soluble and next one is water soluble dye. Say for example I am using scarlet red. Okay, it is an oil soluble dye, whereas amaranth is water soluble dye. Scarlet red, that is oil soluble, will stain oil, and amaranth, that is water soluble, will stain water. Now simply what you need to do is you need to take test slides and certain quantity of your emulsion in a test tube, add few drops of scarlet red in one test tube and in another one you are going to add amaranth. Shake it vigorously and take a drop of these emulsions on your slide and observe them under microscope. Now suppose if you are going to deal with scarlet red, what will happen is that scarlet red has stained the oil. You can see that either the droplets are colored and the background is colorless, or either the background is colored and droplets are colorless. So what you can understand from this, if oil was present in dispersed phase, you would see that the droplets are colored, whereas if oil is present in continuous phase, you would see that the total background is colored. The reason behind this, oil is going to be stained by scarlet red, isn't it? And the same thing if you are going to use amaranth, you can see again the background is colored in case of oil in water type of emulsion, because water soluble dye, that is amaranth, it is going to stain water. So in case of water in oil type of emulsion, you can see that the droplets are colored, whereas in case of oil in water, you can see that the background is colored. So simply in dye test, whichever dye you are going to use, say for example either oil soluble or water soluble, it is going to stain the same thing. If it is oil soluble dye, it is going to stain the oil, and if it is water soluble dye, it is going to stain water. So you need to keep in mind this main concept, that whichever dye you are going to use, it is going to stain the specific soluble content, okay, in which it is going to be soluble. Next is conductivity test. Okay, this is quite simple, as everyone knows that water is good conductor of electricity. So what we need to do is we need to attach a small bulb to electrodes and dip that electrodes into your emulsion. If bulb doesn't glow, you can say that it is water in oil type of emulsion, because water is in dispersed phase whereas oil is continuous phase. If bulb glows, then the emulsion will be oil in water type of emulsion. Then the next one is fluorescence test. In this test, you can see that there are certain fixed oils that show property of fluorescence when observed under microscope. Now when you observe such emulsions under microscope and you see that the continuous phase is showing fluorescence, it would be water in oil type of emulsion. And if droplets show fluorescence, it would be oil in water type of emulsion. The last test is cobalt chloride test for identification of emulsion. Addition of emulsion over a dried filter paper that was soaked in cobalt chloride solution. If you are going to do that and you are going to observe the color, if the filter paper turns to pink from blue, you can indicate that it is oil in water type of emulsion. And if there is no change, then you can simply say that the emulsion was water in oil type of emulsion. So these are the various identification tests for emulsions. I hope you have understood those, and thank you.